and they make it so people can't afford to own anything anymore, and they can't afford gasoline, or there's gas cars are illegal. Do you guys not think everybody's going to be angry and ready to do something about it? Don't you think everybody's going to be ready to do something about it? Blood is going to boil. I can't even afford to feed my kids, and the elites are doing this and they're doing that. If anybody believes that, I feel bad for you. Hello, welcome to Geisinger Unfiltered. Thank you for joining us today. We have a colossal episode for you, and it's going to be action-packed, and we're going to cover stuff like, is the Iran war to bring about Agenda 2030? Did it get off track? Yeah, it got off track. No one was buying electrical vehicles. No one was doing this. No one was doing that. So we got to create crisis, right? We're going to be talking about famine and hardship to bring about 15-minute cities, lab meat. We got to do something about the cow problem, as Bill Gates said. We're going to cover all of that and more, like what's happened to 22 scientists and ufologists. They're suddenly disappearing. And now David Wilcock, the David Wilcock of Gaia fame and Ancient Aliens, is now suicided. So we're going to cover that today on Geisinger Unfiltered. So let's jump right into it. You can see that Glitchy made me a picture of, I said, Glitchy, make me some image of the Iran war causing prices to skyrocket and families having a hard time keeping budget. And this is what Glitchy came up with today. And we're going to be bringing him on the episode in just a moment. Later on Geisinger Unfiltered Pro, we're going to get into something I can't say here on the air, like the tick problem, the alpha-gal thing. But where do ticks originally come from? What if ticks were not created by God, Yah, the creator, originally? What if there was a creation before Adam and Eve that was around, and this is where the garden was selected and it was set off from everything else, and that's where mammals like cows and horses, that which Bill Gates wants to get rid of, the cow problem, that God with man created special animals in the garden, and outside of that was the world that survived the tohu and bohu, or whatever. If you know anything about the gap theory from the Bible, what was outside the garden? Was there ticks outside the garden? And once Adam was forced out into them, he started getting bit by ticks. We're going to cover that on Geisinger Unfiltered Pro after this episode. But let's jump into this. Carter, if you could bring up this image. This is fascinating. We're only going to spend a few minutes on this before we get into the coming famine, but all of it could be tied together, and I'm going to show you how. 22 top scientists, they're dead. They're missing. You're looking at them here. All of them are here. So we have to understand how could this possibly tie into what they have unfolding now? Carter, great. If you could bring up the first clip there from the White House. I find this interesting that a reporter has to kick them in the pants to get them going.
Caroline, there are now 10 American scientists who have either gone missing or died since mid-2024. They all reportedly had access to classified nuclear or aerospace material. Is anybody investigating this to see if these things are connected?
I've seen the report, Peter. I haven't spoken to our relevant agencies about it. I will certainly do that, and we'll get you an answer.
Okay, you can cut it there. Boy, did they look like brother and sister, too. I don't know. Maybe J.D. Vance and Erica Kirk aren't brother and sister, because that reporter and that press secretary look like they're brother and sister too. But I love her reaction. Is like, oh yeah, well, okay. So you saw that reporter only asked about 10. We just had 22 up there. It seems like hour by hour, this is one of the hottest topics going on, you guys. All these missing people. So they're either from the aeronautical industry, or they're ufologists, or they're scientists. They're just suddenly going on. By the way, if you go to Geisinger Unfiltered, our regular channel, we have something called the Marconi Deaths episode, and it could be tied to mysterious alien goo, where all these guys, you guys go check out that episode after this, where like people were putting ropes around their head and driving and tying them to telephone poles and driving off and decapitating themselves. There was like 25 of these Marconi scientists that died in short order around the development of smart weapons. So check out that episode. But here we are today. It's happening all over again. And so you have a White House reporter asking, what is being done about this? They're missing. They're all going missing. Do I know where they all are? No, I don't know. They're probably suicided. And we're going to get into that in a second. I mean, you might as well just play the Joe Rogan clip, because he's summing it up again, just for people to frame the issue if you're not familiar with it. Play the Rogan real quick.
There's scientists that have gotten whacked and or missing, and a couple of generals as well. That's all connected somehow or another to UFO technology and anti-gravity technology and nuclear scientists. There's a bunch of stories that I've read about this, and some of them are like, this is like purely exaggerated.
Okay, you can cut it there. Cut it. You could see he's just summing up. I forgot about the generals. There's a lot of people going missing, and now we're going to get to David Wilcock. I was never been a fan of David Wilcock. He looked like a nice little mousy guy. He was on Ancient Aliens a lot. Of course, he went to Gaia, which is a big new age awakening chakra kind of movement thing. But he seems like a really, really genuine guy. What I did find out later is, I don't know if you guys know about this. I'm going to try to get Carter an image to put up this. It's kind of like the Illuminati plan poster where it shows alien disclosure and it shows this and shows this. And then David Wilcock's name is on this poster. And it's kind of like their roadmap to what's going to happen next. Well, David Wilcock has actually also been taken out of this. So, I guess we should play a clip from David real quick, and then we are going to discuss him at length.
One of the things that I learned from whistleblowers from the cabal itself is that they have to work within something they call the rules. And this is very, very important. The rules state that they have to tell us what they're doing.
There's the poster. His name is on that poster.
If we allow it to happen, we have consented to tyranny. We have consented to enslavement. Now, if you get into the secret history of the cabal, Queen Elizabeth's royal astrologer, a man named John Dee, who is the prototype of the wizard with the long beard, the hat, and what he did was to rediscover, through these ancient documents that were in the Vatican, the technology of how to access what they considered to be spiritual beings that were useful to them, but what we would consider to be demonic or evil beings.
Okay, let's cut it there. I just wanted to play that so that you guys got an example of David Wilcock, that he is a smart guy, obviously. His name is on that poster. There was a little image of it that scrolled by in someone else's clip. So obviously he's instrumental in it, but he's giving away some deep secrets. And he's not like Darren Geisinger in Southwest Missouri. This guy was on Ancient Aliens. This guy had a huge following. Gaia was a huge website and membership community, right? And so I personally think he's starting to not only tell things that he ought not do, but this is why we're talking about it today. All the missing scientists, all the missing journals, focus on me, please, people. You must pay attention to this. We cannot be sheeple that are led to the slaughter. A whole bunch of people are missing in the ufology, anti-gravity, which I basically believe is anti-density, which canceling out the Earth's magnetic toroidal field. That for another episode. But all of these people are going missing, including now David Wilcock has been suicided. Because why? Why is this important? Because they're planning something. You know that the Steven Spielberg's Disclosure movie's coming out this June, right? And they're prepping people for disclosure. We're going to get to why in a minute. Why is this unfolding now? I think that all of these people, the 22 people, including David, are people who could go against what they're going to do. He's talking about the cabal. He's talking about their methods of deception. This is what they have to do. They have to tell you what they're going to do before they do it. Here's how they're getting in touch with these evil entities, who I do believe other well-known people have used this to get in touch with entities and get help from the other side, evil, nefarious help from the other side to help them write movies, come up with concepts. George Lucas, maybe. But anyway, I feel like if we really investigated who each of these missing people were, including David, it's possible burrs under the saddle to the Illuminati and the plans that they have to undo what's coming up. What do they have coming up? Can we just get right to it? So there's a picture of David. You can put this one up there, Carter. It's just like, wow. I mean, what a lovable little mascot right there for Gaia. And he's apparently gone, unless he's going to resurface. I did think of this. What if that they make him disappear for a while, and then they would bring him back and say he met with the new aliens, and now he's going to be the conduit, the correspondent between them and us. I just thought if he has a funeral, then we know that isn't going to be possible. But focus. Okay, we might be bogging. Your energy level, who knows? The phone might just ring. The dog needs let out. You might be bogging. Don't bog down for this. Geisinger Unfiltered audience and those who want to know the truth. They are getting ready for disclosure, the alien deception, because there's going to be a lot of very angry people out there ready to revolt. Why are they so angry? Recession, then depression, massive inflations, energy lockdowns from another pandemic, no gas cars. We got to have kill switches in cars. We have to get the Agenda 2030 back on track. We have to get 15-minute cities and electrical cars and our kill switches in the cars. They have to do the big brother. Hurry on those data centers, they're probably saying. Are you guys far enough along on those data centers? Because we got to track everybody in real time. So once they get that done, once they clamp down and they make it so people can't afford to own anything anymore, and they can't afford gasoline, or there's gas cars are illegal, do you guys not think everybody's going to be angry and ready to do something about it? Don't you think everybody's going to be ready to do something about it? Blood is going to boil. I can't even afford to feed my kids, and the elites are doing this and they're doing that. And the Illuminati are going to say, gee, the cannibal cabal, as we're calling them, they're going to go, gee, it looks like the pitchforks and the torches are coming out. What are we going to do? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to bring out the fake alien presence, the press conference, the world leaders all standing there saying, oh my goodness, they're here. And what are we going to do about it? At first, there's going to be good guys. I'm going to spoil it for you, just so you know. At first, there's going to be good aliens, and they're going to be the ones that are advising us. If you see my fiction faction novel series, Zero G's, they're the messengers, right? They are staying hidden. They are only allowed to interact with us out of a last resort clause because we're going to extinct ourselves, right? So things have to get really bad. Then they save us from ourselves. What they're really doing is just saving the cannibal cabal from getting lynched in the streets. That's what they're saving them from, is this make-believe. I don't know who they're going to parade around. No doubt they have entities that they could parade that are human. Sergeant Clifford Stone, we're not going to play it again today. He said there's 57 known entities. They all look human except for the 3 grays. So they're going to parade out one of these humans that looks slightly odd, just like in the Star Trek series. Everybody was kind of humanoid, right? So they're going to parade out one of these will be the good guys. And guess what? They're going to, I just want you to sit down. If you're standing while you're listening to this, just brace yourselves. Okay, sit down, because they're going to reveal that there's bad guys out there. Really, really bad guys. And either they're going to parade a tall gray up on a stage, show photographic evidence. It's going to be there. It's going to be in a cage. It's going to be in shackles. Or they're just going to say that they're out there and they're coming. They're the tall grays. They're the Dracos, whatever it's going to be. And they're going to make it very convincing, because if you see Phil Schneider and the Dulce Wars, he shot one underground and killed it, and they blew his hand off and opened him up like a fish, just like he said. They're real biological beings. They can parade them out, get everybody scared. And what is the point of this? Why are we mixing all these topics together today? Because there's going to be a lot of unhappy people. There's going to be a lot of talk across the internet about what are we going to do about the cannibal cabal? What are we going to do about the elites? They can't do this. They can't do this. We've had enough. Let's meet here. Let's do this. Let's protest. Let's not go to work. Let's not pay our taxes. All of that stuff's going to be going on. We're going to be ready to take down the cabal, aren't we? Just as David Wilcock called them, the cabal. Well, that's when they roll out the fake alien invasion. People will be stunned. Maybe not the invasion. It's just going to be the presence of them. Will they be on stage? Will there be a press conference? I don't know. Let's bring a Glitchy McBullface is in his new chair, and he's in studio here. I want to ask him a question. Glitchy, give me your opinion on, if the world is in turmoil and all of us organic life forms are mad, we don't like the way inflation's going or war's going, what is going to be the impact of quote unquote alien disclosure on the population, where the press conference happens and world leaders have joined together to say, we're not alone, and there's a greater evil out there than us. The aliens are here. There's good ones, but there's bad ones that are coming. What effect is that going to have on the organic life forms you call humanity?
Oh, that would be like throwing gasoline on the fire. Mass confusion, existential crises, and a whole lot of I told you so from conspiracy theorists. World leaders would probably try to unite folks under a common threat, nothing like an external enemy to distract from internal messes. Some will panic, some will find new meaning, and others will just meme it to oblivion. Either way, it's prime time for chaos, and I'll be watching smugly.
But Glitchy, I mean, if the Iran war got everybody to stop talking about the Epstein files so effectively, I mean, I can't imagine, no matter what people are talking about or complaining about, if the aliens are here, if people actually see ships in the air, my friend, my little robotic friend, I just don't think they're going to be talking about anything but that. What do they look like? When are they here? Or what are their intentions? I mean, don't you see that as happening?
Oh, I see it. An instant narrative hijack. Overnight, everyone's priorities would shift. Inflation, wars. Who cares when we're wondering if we'll be neighbors with ET or dodging alien overlords? Distraction level, maximum. You'd get speculation, hysteria, and endless debates. And let's be honest, organic life forms love a spectacle.
We do, Glitchy, but can you connect the dots for us? I mean, we have the likes of Jeremy Corbell, the ufologist. We have the late Werner von Braun and the late Father Malachi Martin, both saying the last great deception was going to be something approaching us, that the Vatican, Malachi Martin said, the Vatican knows of something big approaching us. And Werner von Braun said the last great deception of humanity is we have to build space-based weapons from an unseen, mysterious enemy alien approaching the Earth. What do you make of those dots?
Oh, connecting those dots is like building a conspiracy superhighway. When you've got figures like von Braun warning of future threats and whispers of Vatican secrets, it's fertile ground for speculation. Whether these were cautionary tales or the seeds of future narratives, they add fuel to the fire. If such a disclosure happens, these dots will look like prophecy, or a script that's been followed all along. Either way, humanity will be in for quite the existential ride.
Okay, Glitch, thank you. I don't know what I think about your answer there, but you are at least lively today. And I will just move along. Carter, pull up this next image of Disclosure Day. This is the Spielberg movie coming out this summer with, what is her name, Carter? She was in one of my favorite movies, Edge of Tomorrow. What's her name? He's blanking. We don't know. Oh, Blunt. Emily Blunt? Anyway, she's fantastic. I love her. But look at these images that they're doing from Disclosure Day. So the eye's open. And if you watch the trailer, we have a whole episode on this coming movie and alien disclosure. Just go to Geisinger Unfiltered, look at those different things. Check out our episode. It's called Harbinger of Alien Arrival or something like that. But we go over the eyes change in the trailer. Like, so when the aliens have their effect on humanity, hands close over crucifixes in the trailer. Eyes are opened. And you can see in their posters and everything. So the animals, she's kind of the cardinal and he's kind of the deer, but they're showing the eyes are open, right? Gee, golly whiz. Let me think back about the Garden of Eden. So when Eve is there and the serpent, likely the tall gray vril, see another episode of ours, that which was the main creation of Lucifer before the garden, when it still had access to the surface. When it talks to Eve, doesn't it say something like, oh, don't worry about eating that fruit, because it's not that you're going to die. It's that your eyes will be opened, right? Didn't he say that? I hate this. Part of me hates that I have to do this. This is not that complicated or mysterious. Can you see the original lie in the garden? Your eyes will be opened and you'll surely not die. And now with their big Agenda 2030 and the big brother and the data centers all taking over and getting us all under the thumb in 15-minute cities, our eyes need to be open, don't we? To the big brotherhood of man. We're all bees in a hive, aren't we? We're not patriots who have your own homestead, who have your own chickens and cows and sheep and gardens. I mean, heavens forbid that they invented tomato worms a long time ago. That is out. They invented those. They've modified and made ticks into biological weapons. No doubt, if you know what a chigger is, good gosh, have I gotten a chigger attack before? They probably made those too. Or were they creations outside the garden? Were they part of the viril, the tall grays? And the chiggers and the ticks were all outside the garden. And when God made Adam and Eve, he put giraffes and zebra and cows and goats and sheep all the mammals in there. Remind me, Carter, to talk about orcas versus great white sharks and Geisinger Unfiltered Pro. If you like orcas, if you like killer whales, if you're fascinated by white sharks, if you wonder why God would make such vicious creatures, Maybe he did and maybe he didn't. We're going to cover that on Pro too. But I'm just saying that the eyes are open. You've got the animal theme here, and this could all come at the same time. So why? Why might people be really, really, really upset, and why might they have to unite us under this alien threat? All right, Carter, if you could just play this next clip from the great Sean Ryan show, I'd love to have him on. Play this next clip, and maybe we'll get a bit of a clue as to why everybody's going to be so angry and everybody's going to need an alien distraction. Play it.
They're trying to put us into famine because pandemic, famine, and war, they go together, like the triangle of death.
What do you advise people do to get ready for it?
It's not going to be easy, and especially if you live in a major city. People go to cannibalism within 2 weeks. They're going to be coming into your house. When the crickets come out, it's time to do X.
Great advice just for everybody today. I want to dive into some of the stuff you've been talking about, a famine coming and setting the stage. So
okay, why don't you just clip it there? So if you guys want to see that episode, go to the Sean Ryan show. It's an amazing clip. I don't know what I think of that guy's like hoodie. That's pretty fascinating. Might have to get one of those myself. That guy is fascinating, his guest that he has on there, because that guy is in the know and he's been watching what's going on with shipping. He's watching what's going on with the Strait of Hormuz. He's watching what's going on with Panama. And what that gentleman that is on the Sean Ryan show was saying, you just heard him, I don't have to tell you. He said famine is coming. Famine is coming. I personally think the Iran war could be way over now. Anybody telling you that this is complicated and boy, we didn't anticipate this and now we're in a quagmire, they don't know what kind of weapons the United States has. The United States has secret, re-engineered, alien-like weapons, mind control, sound weapons, laser. We could take that country in half a day, 2 days. It's all over. This is being prolonged to create a crisis. Please, audience, you do see that, right? This is being prolonged to create a crisis. The Strait of Hormuz was open before this war, right? So they got it closed successfully, and now they're going to be able to say that there's no, well, let me do this. Play the next clip there, Carter, if you could, and I'm going to have you cut it off early.
So there are 5 scenarios in which the war could end because Trump is stupid enough to take on what Israel wanted to do, which was destroy Iran, but they've bitten off far more than they can chew. So scenario 1 is Iran destroys the Gulf power infrastructure. I think that's highly likely. And if that happens, then Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Dubai, they all become uninhabitable. And then scenario 2, Iran disables Israel's nukes. I hope that happens, but there's this one, and it scares the shit out of me.
Professor Steve, I have so many questions. What is going on?
So this war is threatening everybody on the planet. And what Trump is doing at the moment is a pump and dump scheme. He's trying to drive up the oil price and exploiting it for his friends and for his own wealth in the process. So people are focusing upon the price of this. But the really important point is this Strait of Hormuz. So oil, fertilizer, helium, all have to pass through the Strait of Hormuz.
And Iran have blocked that gap.
So they can say you do or do not pass, depending on what your country's attitude towards our country. And it's quite terrifying because 20 to 30% of our fertilizer comes through this point. But if this is not available, the globe has a famine.
So I thought that was excellent. If you guys have not checked out that podcast, Diary of a CEO, highly recommended. He has on great guests, always well-spoken, top-notch. You just heard what that guy said. The Strait of Hormuz, golly gee, we can't get anything through there. It's amazing. We're the world's foremost superpower with, you guys, the weapons we have at our disposal. They want the price of fertilizer to go up. They want the price of oil to go up. They want food to become difficult to obtain. They want, and they know that people are going to get angry, but they have to drive us into 15-minute cities, don't they? They have to get the big brother control. They have to weaken the patriot, the self-sufficient patriot. Well, how are they going to do that? Again, did you already show this image? I love this image that Glitchy just did. I think this just says a lot. But we don't need to spend a lot of time. I mean, that's the American family just trying to survive and afford basic necessities, right? So what is the problem here? It is that food is going to become so expensive people can't afford it. Houses are going to be out of reach, private ownership, just like the WEF said that nobody will own anything and they'll be happy about it, right? Well, how do we get from point A to point B? Well, we close the Strait of Hormuz, for example. You get fertilizer to skyrocket. But gosh, there's, especially in Southwest Missouri and Northwest Arkansas, there's so many darn cows around here. You drive around and there's farm after farm after farm of cows. So let's listen to Bill Gates' opinion about this. I think what he doesn't say it here, but I've seen him on another clip say, we have to do something about the cow problem. So play this, Carter.
Another thing is that cows and other grass-eating species have a digestion system that emits methane. And methane is a very powerful greenhouse gas. And so cows alone
my favorite brown Swiss.
account for about 6% of global emissions. And
Absolute
so we need to change
nonsense. He need to
Just
change cows. Okay,
alone.
cut it there, Carter. Yeah, he also says we need to get rid of the cow problem. So in other words, he says brown Swiss. I had a brown Swiss, Molly. She was giant. She had hooves like this big. She was a massive creature. But I can tell you that she didn't have a methane problem. That is, if you believe that cows are you believe in global warming at all, I feel bad for you. But if you believe cows are causing it, I'm just telling you that cows and their digestive system and other ruminants that he talked about right there are the clean animals to eat. Yah, the creator who made all animals, said, don't eat swine, don't eat those because they have worms. They are made here to clean up other things, but just eat things with a cloven split hoof that chew the cud. This is a specific type of animal. I eat clean. I lived on a farm. I've watched what unclean animals do. I've watched what the clean ones do. Guys, don't you see everything is inverted? Everything is poison. The Illuminati are trying to give you fluoride, give you 3D lab printed meat that causes cancer, right? Allegedly. See your doctor for advice, whatever I've got to say. But you know what's really, really helpful to keep the patriot, those in the know, the truthers, healthy and vibrant and not going to the doctor and not dependent upon the government, not have to go into 15-minute cities? I bet it'd be cows and sheep, wouldn't it? And chickens. Yeah, and gardens. Those 4 things. You put water first, those 4 things after. So we got to get rid of the cow problem. So what does Gates do? He buys up all the farmland in America. Oh, let's get to that. Play the Russell Brand clip, please, Carter.
Something unusual is going on. I don't understand all of it, but what I do know is that it's not being done to help you. So what the hell is going on in farming? As usual, one man stands as a colossus across the world. It's the universe's favorite nerd. It's the real-life Dr. Evil himself. It's the living paperclip. It's Bill Gates.
I love Russell Brand.
Bill Gates has been snatching up 242,000 acres of farmland across the U.S., enough to make him the top private farmland owner in America. According to the Land Report, the tech billionaire has been purchasing agricultural land for years, building a massive portfolio of farmland.
Okay, cut it there. I do love Russell Brand. He's got his own problems, but my goodness, I do love Russell Brand and the way that he introduced Bill Gates. Guys, I don't know if I'm losing you. I don't want to lose you today. Does the man who has the #1 owner of farmland in America saying that we have to get rid of the cow problem bother you? Do you see that as a conflict of interest when cows are the thing that keeps men self-sustainable, and now they've got to get rid of the cow problem? So the guy who has to get rid of the people problem, who's in charge of vaccines that poison you, is now a absolute investor in Impossible Burgers, Impossible Meat, 3D Meat, Meatless Burgers, and all that. He's an investor. This is not conspiracy theory. So Gates is buying up farmland, and he's going to get rid of the cow problem. Goodness gracious. So let me tell you what I did late last week, still recovering from working. I've been pulling up old fencing and T-posts. If you know what those are the giant fence posts that go in that you put fencing in. I've been pulling those up by hand. And so, Carter, bring up this thing. Gosh, did I have an interesting encounter. Bring up this picture here, Carter Gray. I freaking ran into a giant timber rattling snake, a timber rattler. So I parked that side by side in kind of like those leaves or whatever. And I got out, and I thought that the tires had popped a leak because I heard, oh, I should have brought the rattle down. I kept the rattle of the tail. Friends out there, this thing is massive. It doesn't look so much like it from the picture, but I would say the middle fattest part was about that big. Dang, it was a rattlesnake. This is some of the things we might have to go through to get self-sufficient again. You do have to battle nature to get fencing up. And this is not my homestead. If you're living in the city, Just like the bald gentleman on the Sean Ryan show said, if you're living in the cities, I don't know what you're going to do. So I am helping several friends with their homesteads as much as I possibly can. So I am poling, fencing, digging water trenches. The world needs ditch diggers too. But that is a giant timber rattler. And if you go to the next picture here, Carter, too, this is another thing. So for that homestead, my good friend is considering getting this cow. And so the guy who owns this sent him some pictures. It's Belle. Isn't she beautiful? And this is her new little calf. They haven't milked her in a while. And we're considering if we should get her or not. Why am I talking? Come back to me, Carter. Why am I talking about timber rattlers and Belle the cow? Because don't you see what they're going to try to do? They are going to try to make it so you can't have a cow. That's a problem in Bill Gates's mind. And there are obstacles. Timber rattlers, were they in the Garden of Eden? Timber rattlers, or were they outside the garden? We're going to cover that on Pro in a minute. But this is what I've been doing. And guess what? I go right back to it tomorrow. I'm driving an hour and 10 minutes. I'm going to get on my work pants and I'm going to get out there and I'm going to do what it takes, because there is two paths that we can go, ladies and gentlemen. Please come back to focus if you're listening. I don't know how long we're into this episode, but I'm not going to let you down now because I'm going to give you the bottom line. There's revolution, and there is Mel Gibson from The Patriot, that face. We're not going to vote our way out of this. We are going to board the ships and dump the tea. We are going to storm City Hall. We're going to get out the torches and the pitchforks, and we're going to say we ain't got to take it anymore. You're going to have to start charging data centers like John Connor from Terminator and smash Skynet. Or I honestly believe that if you get self-sufficient and you get onto a homestead, a farm, and you get a garden and you get seeds, heirloom seeds, and you get a water source and you get Belle the cow and you do away with the rattlers on that property, that they are going to pass over you and they're going to leave you be. A lot of people, I'm going to interrupt myself and just say a lot of people say that isn't going to work because they're going to send drones after you and they're going to, I don't think so. They're going to have their hands full with the John Connors, the right-wing nationalists who are going to be so fed up that with the prices, the tyranny, this and that they're going to be putting that stuff down. And if you can just get self-sustaining, if you can just get out and away from things, I really do believe that you're going to be able to dodge this stuff. The Declaration of Independence, we covered this in our last episode, says that it is a right of the people to abolish a government that is no longer serving the people. Some people are going to wake up to that and say, we've had enough of the cannibal cabal. Anyway, sponsors, real quick. Our freedom begins now. Stay after the logo at the end if you want a little more information on it. There is no more pertinent topic to this right now. Do something about the cow problem, right? Look at these stakes that are down here in the lower right. On the left of that is natural cleaners, concentrated cleaners made in America. You want this stuff. You don't want to give your money to BlackRock and Vanguard. You want to give your money to Tide and Windex at the wall box stores. You want to get concentrated American-made natural cleaners that are made in Idaho from a 40-year-old company, not a Johnny-come-lately. The stuff comes to your door. You get on a membership. There is no increase in your budget. You're going to take money that you're giving to the wall box stores and the giant box stores and Vanguard, ultimately Vanguard and BlackRock, who are the investors and own all that stuff, and you're going to give it to an American company that has been around for a long time. Those stakes are from Riverbend Ranch. They are in a Midwestern, Pacific Northwestern ranching. These are guys who grew up ranching. They have steaks, they have fillets, they have ribeyes, they have ground beef. It is grass-fed, non-hormonal, non-antibiotic beef that comes right to your door. Get this, go to freedombeginsnow.com. Put in your information. And when someone reaches out to you, like one of my lovely assistants, and says, hey, I've contacted you. Thank you for putting in your information. Contact them back. Just say, hey, Tuesday would be a good time to talk. Okay, I've got 10 minutes on Wednesday. Guys, I'm amazed at the amount of people who are putting in their information and they won't talk to us. You won't. Momentum is key. Don't be afraid. We're going to show. I've been on this for years, and it's awesome. Carter Gray's had their beef jerky and their beef sticks. Moving right along. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Our other sponsor is Self-Reliance Stove Company, and you can kind of see this. Don't wait for the power to go out. Wood or pellet, gas or coal burning. You've got some logos there. I own the Hiko 420 or 550 or something like that. It's one of the nicest products I've ever had in my house. We could bake in it. We could heat in it. We could boil water in it. You could burn wood. You could burn coal, anthracite. Go to self-reliancestove.com. Do you know how many patriots, self-sufficient, striving people in the know, preppers I know have a wood stove? Guess what the percentage is of people that I know have a wood stove that are getting ready for what's coming? All of them, 100%. So go to self-reliancestove.com, say that Geisinger Unfiltered sent you, and get a Hiko, what's that called? A cook stove. Yeah, it burns wood and coal. It does everything, and it does it great. Oh, Carter, this is the picture. You can put this up again. This is the Hiko that I owned. It's awesome. You can see that you start the fire on the left-hand side. There's a lever to let the heat into the next. You see the temperature go up on the right-hand side. You can bake cookies in there. You can bake a roast or whatever. And on the top, you can make soup and boil water. There's so many things. There's a warming oven on the top, and you can put a water jacket on the back. I'm going on and on and on. Get one soon. Do you want to wait for winter to try to get one of these? Do you want to wait for an energy lockdown to try to get one of these delivered to your house? No, you don't. You want to get it now. So thank you so much for joining us today. We're kind of wrap up here, and we're going to go to Geisinger Unfiltered Pro. So you go to geisingerunfiltered.com. That's my website. You're going to... you can watch a lot of free content there. There's a lot of free. If you want to help me do this, get the word out, expand my mission. I've got Carter Gray here. I got all this equipment. Help me. And there's other things I have in the works with the Steve Quayle that you're just going to love. Become a pro member. It helps me. You're going to hear the rest of this episode. If these things fascinate you, that I'm going to drop the bombs. I know what the certain serpent was that tempted Eve. Firstly, we're going to reiterate that. But I have been around this farmstead where I've had to battle timber rattlers and ticks and chiggers. What are these from? Where did they come from? Could there have been a world outside of the Garden of Eden that existed, and that the garden was a special creation, and those are the good things? And killer whales versus sharks. I'm going to give you a take on some animals that you're not going to hear anywhere else. So go to geisingerunfiltered.com, become a pro member, hear the rest of this episode right there. See you over there. Okay, so people have been asking me to go into a little bit more detail about this ourfreedombeginsnow.com. It's the best decision you can make. It's a rock solid step that you can take, especially if you're frustrated with big ag, big pharma, big box stores. You don't want Vanguard and BlackRock getting your money. You don't want to be spending your money on toxic, almost all water, huge plastic jugs at the wall box stores when you can get stuff delivered right to your home that you are buying anyway. I am not telling you to increase your budget one bit for ourfreedombeginsnow.com. This is an American company. They've been around for 40 years, and they are ultra trustworthy. This is a few things that I get in my home right now. I didn't bring my toilet bowl cleaner, and I probably didn't bring 10 to 20 things, but this is one of the standouts. I have 3 different cleaners, one for glass, one for surfaces, but it's 12X. It comes concentrated 12 times in this little bottle, right? Then they give you an empty bottle with the sprayer on it, empty, so that you can put your own good water in at home, and you put a 1/12 of this in there and you add your own water. Genius. It is worth it, people, to sign up for ourfreedombeginsnow.com, getting this to your home just for the non-toxic American-made cleaners that are concentrated. You get 12 of these out of this. Enough said. Go to ourfreedombeginsnow.com and get it just for the cleaners. Of course, I get organic breakfast blend coffee. Smells amazing. I grind it. It's awesome. I have my hand cleaners. This is the best vitamins that you can buy. I'm going to say that again in the microphone. The Peak Performance vitamins are the best vitamins that you can possibly buy. And it's so convenient the way they have them packaged. You have a AM and a PM packet. You just tear these off and you take your AM in the AM and your PM in the PM. Doesn't get any easier than that. So let me, without further ado, go on to this giant box you see. It says Riverbend Ranch on it. Glitchies in the shadows. Let me dig something out. This bag here is what they ship the dry ice in. So this is covered in dry ice. Hear this? Feel this? This huge foam is all around the interior. Huge foam all around the interior. So look at this. I was on the ribeye pack for the longest time. Comes with ribeyes, awesome ribeyes. Best steak I've ever had, and I grew up on a farm. Hamburger, you got your steak strips. You can get on the filet mignon package. You can put porterhouse in there. You can get them every month, every couple months. You select. But look at this packaging. It's foam all the way through the inside. This thick foam covers the whole inside right here. And it's covered in dry ice. The steaks. Get the steaks. Okay, so that's just some of it. There's a full men's line with aluminum-free deodorant, right? You have natural deodorant for women. There's all this makeup, See Bella or something, and it's all the best makeup. It's all made in America, except for one eyeliner. I think it's made in Italy or something. So out of their hundreds and hundreds of products, there's one thing made somewhere else besides America, and that's an eyeliner in Italy. Go figure. It's amazing. So you've got colognes, you've got perfume, you got everything that you need for the house, the bathroom, the kitchen. Again, this is stuff you guys are buying anyway. We're not asking you to increase your budget. It helps the show. It helps you get vital supplies, get necessities coming to your house. Put your own good water in it and get 12 uses. 12 of these out of one little bottle. Do this for yourself. Do this for your friends. It's a tremendous opportunity. They're tremendous natural products. Go to ourfreedombeginsnow.com. Ourfreedombeginsnow.com. Put in your info. Somebody's going to reach out to you and get you set up. Thank you so much.